Hello guys, good afternoon. You are welcome to my YouTube channel, the Explicit Tutorials. As you all know, I'm Dr. Joseph or Mr. Explicit. Please, as you watch this video, endeavor to subscribe, like, share, and comment. In our class today, we shall be analyzing some questions you are likely to see in a 122 examination, and which will be taking place few days from now. And by our right hand side, we have a diagram that expresses a dicot stem. So that structure there is what a dicot stem, and you can see for yourself that the vascular bundles such as the xylem, phloem, and cambium are properly arranged. That is together with other tissues. That is, we are going to be analyzing this diagram in our next class. But in this class, we shall be doing justice to questions 1 to 16 on the board. He said, on a broad note, there are dash types of tissues. On a broad note, there are dash types of tissues. Is it 5? Is it 4? Is it 2 or 1? There are 2 types of tissues, okay? I don't want to see them. As we go on, we get to see these types of tissues. So the answer is what? A. The answer is C, sorry. 2. 2. That is C. 2 says, tissues are grouped into dash. Permanent and temporary tissues and secondary tissues, permanent tissues and temporary tissues, meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. I take it again. Permanent tissues and temporary tissues and secondary tissues, meristematic and temporary tissues, meristematic and permanent tissues. So what is the answer? I think the answer is it B, temporary and secondary tissues? I would have added primary and secondary tissue. Child, that was a mistake. Primary and secondary tissue. So please, we have 2 types of tissues. They are the meristematic tissues and the permanent tissues. Option D is the right answer. Number 3, small undifferentiated cell having large vacuole, dense cytoplasm, non-centralized nucleus, okay? This word there should be nucleus. Non-centralized nucleus undergoing continuous cell division. Small undifferentiated cell having large vacuole, dense cytoplasm, non-centralized nucleus undergoing a continuous cell division is it the meristematic cell? Is it a temporary cell? Is it a permanent cell or the central cell? Please, it is the meristematic cell. The meristematic cell undergoes continuous mitotic division. Number 4, that there are dash are found at the apex of plants such as the shoots, the leaves, and the stem. Please take note that the apical meristem is found, or you say the apical meristem is found that is on the tip of roots, stems, and what, leaves, okay? Please take note of that. It is very, very important. Now we have the set question 5 to 12. So which means we have to use these options to answer question 5 to 12. Though the questions are not written on the board, I'm going to be reading out the question for us here. The first option says apical meristem, primary meristem, intercalary meristem, lateral meristem, and a secondary meristem. Now, if number 5 says dash constitutes the cells found in the growing regions. Dash constitutes the cells found in the growing regions, such as the stem and root apexes and the cambium of the stem. Dash constitutes the cells found on the green regions, such as the stem and root apexes and the cambium of stem. Please, which of them do you think is the answer? I'll take the question again. Dash constitutes the cells found in the green regions, such as the root apex, the cambium of the stem. The answer is the primary meristem. The primary meristem is found in growing regions that undergo continuous what? Mitotic division. The next question says, that number 6, dash is found at the side of the stems and roots. Dash is found on the side and stems and of that is found at the side of the stems and roots. The side, the answer is the secondary meristem. The secondary meristem is found at the side of the root and what? Stems. Which of these is odd? Periblem, dermatogene, pleroma, and lignin. Which of them do you think does not belong to these categories? The answer is what? Lignin, which brings about what is called lignification. That is the thickening of what? Roots. Alright, so please, the answer is what? Lignin. Periblem, the pleroma, and dermatogene are all the cells associated with the apical meristem. Hope you are following. Number 7, dash and primary permanent meristem form the secondary permanent tissues. Dash and the primary permanent meristem form secondary permanent tissue. Please, the secondary meristem and the primary permanent meristem form the secondary permanent tissues, and the secondary permanent tissues bring about what? Secondary growth. What is secondary growth? When the root of plants increases in diameter, you call that what? Secondary growth. If I don't call it secondary growth, I'll call it secondary thickening. Apart from the secondary permanent meristem, the cambium also triggers secondary growth in dicot plants. Take note of that, okay? Now, number 8, dash are the types of meristem. Okay, we have done that already. Okay, the next one is number 9. Dash is responsible for the vertical growth in plants. Which of these options is responsible for the vertical growth in plants? Of course, the answer is what? The apical meristem. If you have read about the auxins are the most important hormones, and they were the first plant hormone discovered. It is the most important plant hormone because it does a lot of things. It triggers, it brings about apical dominance and prevents side growth of the plant. So please, apical meristem triggers vertical growth, okay? Now the next one about this, dash are found in nodes and they stimulate the growth of branches. Which of these meristems do you think is found in nodes? The answer is the intercalary meristem. For example, the bamboo stem, the Bambusa bambusa. The Bambusa bambusa has a strong node and hollow internode. If you should draw the stem of a bamboo, you observe that there's a region that is very thick, and there's a region that has space inside, which is hollow-like. So that's kind of type of meristem found in such places called what? The intercalary meristem. And you agree with me that it is from the node that the branches of bamboo stem emanate from. So it triggers the growth of what? Branches. That is what number 10. That's number 10. Number 11, that is found in the cambium. The lateral meristem is found in the cambium, and of course it enhances the lateral growth of plants. I told you before that the cambium also triggers secondary growth in plants. Okay, now number 12. The dermatogene, the periblem, and the pleroma are all associated with dash. I take it again. The dermatogene, the periblem, and the pleroma are all associated to which of these? Is it the apical, the primary, the intercalary, the lateral, and secondary? I explained just now that the pleroma, dermatogene, and the periblem are specialized cells associated with the apical meristem. Okay, so please take note of that. It is very, very important. Number 13, which of these is odd? Okay, wait, yeah, which of these is odd? I think we have analyzed this already. So the answer is what? Lignin. It said that gives rise to the epidermis of the stems, of course. Now, which of these cells do you think give rise to the epidermis? The dermatogene gives rise to the epidermis. Dash gives rise to the cells of the vascular bundles. The pleroma gives rise to the cells of the vascular bundles, such as the xylem and what? Phloem. While the periblem gives rise to the cortex of both the root and the stem. you would agree with me that the cortex is found between the epidermis and the pericycle. All right, between the epidermis and the pericycle. And you know the pericycle produces what is called adventitious roots in plants. It produces adventitious roots in plants. You will also agree with me that the epidermis is the outer part of the plant, that is a leaf, that has thin cell wall. And it is from the epidermis you have a waxy structure that prevents the loss of excess water in form of evaporation, and that is what the cuticle. The cuticle is that waxy layer found on the surface of the leaf, preventing the excessive loss of water. The cuticle is to the leaves. It is found on the surface of the leaves, but the piliferous layer, otherwise called the epiblema or piliferous layer, is found on the surface of the roots. Piliferous layer or the epiblema is to the roots. The cuticle is to the leaves, that is epidermis, that is where it is grown from. All right, from the, you also have the epidermis, the stomata. The stomata is that region where there's what, where there's gaseous exchange, and the stomata in one way or the other also permits the loss of water in order to balance the content of water in the plants. You will agree with me that the closing and the opening of the stomata is controlled by the guard cell. Now note that you have more stomata at the lower region of the plant than the upper region of the plant. Please note that in the epidermis is what called outgrowths that are in the form of thorns. Now these outgrowths are called trichomes. And these trichomes, they provide protection from, that is, they provide protection, thereby preventing them from being fed upon by herbivores, which is to say that it protects the trichomes of plants, protects them from herbivores, that is, herbs eating organisms. So at this point to call it a day, please endeavor to subscribe so that when I upload new content, you'll be notified by YouTube. Do have a wonderful day. Please and please endeavor to go through the questions properly.